What this also demonstrates is that in China, there's different uses for different search engines. So particularly in Forex, this is quite applicable. You know, if you're looking for expats and so forth, even though Google's very small in China, and other Asian markets such as Japan and so forth, you know, there's still an opportunity there on that if you're looking for that kind of usership. Finally, in social media, in markets, pretty much you can again take it like international search engines. As you move further east, more and more people are engaging in it. So markets like Russia and India, for example, that are much younger internet markets, shown by the sort of broadband penetration being quite low, more of those people are interacting and creating profiles on social media sites than they are in the UK and other markets. Again, to give you an example of Russia, it leads the way in terms of the number of people that actually interact with social media against the online population. And there's different platforms. So again, it's Facebook and Twitter in the UK, a lot of Central Europe, but in Russia there's lots of forms of different types of social media. You've got Onokladsniki at the bottom here, which is like a site for sort of younger students and so forth. Up there it's VKON Takte, so for Kontakte is the best way I'm going to have of pronouncing that. And again, it's free to create profiles on these sites. Actually, Yandex does give preference to social media links more than Google does. So again, really good opportunity there to get better rankings on Yandex. And if you start engaging with these sites and so forth, you'll find that you can drive actually a lot more traffic from social media than you can in the UK. So, in summary, the world of internet usership and search is hugely diverse. Researching each market in understanding the behaviors of how people search is key in terms of the keywords they use, what that data means in terms of searching, who is searching, how should you be localizing your site for that market, what search engines are there, and making sure that you're also building local links and your strategy is for that market. There is no global SEO solution to Spanish or global SEO solution to English. It works by market, not by country. Sorry, by language, not by market. Search can also show, quite well where emerging markets are in terms of gaming. There's a lot of things you can do with Google to see search trends over time to work out which games are getting popular in which countries and where gambling is being searched more and more. An example would be Italy, an example would be France. One thing actually I did just want to talk about, I just sort of whacked this in at the end, is Google Instant. Has everybody heard of Google Instant? Anybody not heard of Google Instant? One down the front. Okay, it's basically a new way of searching with Google. I don't think they've implemented it right across the board, so you can only see it with a Google account at the moment, but they will be replicating it out fairly soon, and it basically means that as you're typing in a search, you start to see the results, and that changes. So what does this mean for search? Well, it's still a little bit unknown. We need to give it more time to understand the actual impact, but certainly guarantees that brands will become more dominant. You know, if you're typing in A, you'll probably see Amazon come up, eBay will come up. It means that first page real estate is ever more important, because what people might be doing is sort of start half typing a search. If they can't see it comes up, they might just type the search again, delete the last word they wrote, write another word and see whether something comes up. And in terms of international search, it just means it's ever more important to really work out what people are typing first. And again, translation won't give you that, because the way we use language isn't necessarily the way that we put that into a search engine to search for what we're looking for. So you need to be looking and making sure you've got the right data. I'm pretty sure we've got time to carry on. Yep. Okay. So what I just wanted to talk about lastly was for those of you that are doing really well at the moment or have a lot of international traffic, the next kind of step is obviously converting those users on their site. And outside of search, you can be doing things like multivariate testing. Does anyone not know what multivariate testing is? Everyone knows what multivariate testing is? There's one at the back who didn't know. I'll explain to you perhaps later. Okay, so if you're looking at the kind of things on the site that can influence a person, such as the size of buttons, colours, positioning of text, etc., that varies enormously per market in terms of how people are influenced. So we've developed a tool called Global Maxer. It's not the only one in the market. This isn't to promote this. It's just to show the differences that there are. That also basically takes into consideration cultural differences. So what kind of tests should you be running per market? And I'll give you a case study of somebody we work with called Mio, who's a big sort of sat-nav manufacturer. And we did some tests across 5 different sites, 5 different country sites. So we did things like give a larger page title, test the title variation in terms of colours, increasing size of call to action buttons, swapping graphics and call to action buttons. So to give you an example of a very simple test. Just simply switching something over like that. We ran about 5 tests on 5 pages, pretty small scale, just on one page of their site. And these are the kind of results we got. So we found out that a larger call to action for the UK increased conversions by 260%, but that same effect reduced Italian conversions by 67.5%, which is pretty enormous. So if you are doing something like usability testing and multivariate testing, you need to be very careful of the changes that you're making and what impact that will have on some markets. Just because it's going to improve conversions in one country doesn't mean it's going to improve conversions in another. And also, there's A/B testing, and it's also sort of fully factorial testing, so it goes to quite an advanced level of testing. So I think you can run about 64 different experiments at once. A and B is kind of the first step, and then multivariate's kind of the step after that, if you like. Yeah, I mean, any assumptions you might have about, I don't know, people in Southern Europe, Italy and Spain being similar, this kind of shows it's quite different there again, because there are variants in terms of what converts those users. So that's kind of the next step, I guess. And I think multivariate testing, and especially on a cultural level, it is quite young at the moment, but we certainly see it as the next big growth point in terms of what people are going to be looking at. So starting to investigate these things now, trying to take data from your campaigns, like A and B testing, for example, that you're doing on your landing pages, it's a good time to start thinking about that sort of thing as well. And that's it. Thanks very much. If I haven't covered anything, my number's there and my email address as well, and I'll be around for the next couple of days, so please just come up and see me. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Jon.